Hey everyone, and welcome back to The Explainer. Today we are diving into something absolutely extraordinary. We're breaking down a defining, game-changing moment in global sports, specifically Day 10 of the 2026 Glasgow Commonwealth Games. Now, if you've been following the Games, you already know that momentum can shift in the blink of an eye. But honestly, what the Indian contingent pulled off on this single day wasn't just a shift, it was a monumental surge that literally rewrote the record books. I am so pumped to guide you through the data, the sheer drama, and the pure athletic brilliance that unfolded out on the track, on the mats, and, oh man, especially inside the boxing ring.
Okay, let's dive into this. 16. And no, that's not a cumulative total for the week. That is the staggering, almost unbelievable number of medals India won on Day 10 alone. 16 times the Indian flag went up in a single day of competition. To really put that into perspective for you, a lot of nations show up to the Games hoping to take home just a fraction of that number over the entire event. This was an absolute medal rush, and it completely shifted the balance of power on the global leaderboard. So, here's our game plan for today. We'll start with India's Day 10 medal rush, then hit the historic boxing gold rush, followed by the hard-fought ring silvers. From there, we'll head over to the track and field triumphs, check out a huge bronze on the mat, and finally, look at India surging to 4th place overall.
All right, let's kick things off with Part 1, India's Day 10 medal rush.
And this brilliantly illustrates the big picture we're looking at. Day 10 wasn't just, a good day. It was the day that utterly cemented India's status as a powerhouse in this edition of the Games. Scooping up those 16 medals pushed India's total tally to a massive 39 medals. We're talking 13 gold, 17 silver, and 9 bronze. Now take a second to notice the heavy weight of those silvers and golds. This wasn't a case of just scraping onto the podium. No way. Indian athletes were consistently fighting in the ultimate summit clashes, going toe-to-toe for the absolute highest honors.
Moving right along to Part 2, the historic boxing gold rush.
And listen, nowhere was that fight for the top spot more apparent than at the absolute climax of the tournament, the boxing ring. Just look at this incredible roster of champions. Preeti Pawar, Jaismine Lamboria, Sakshi Choudhary, Priya Ghanghas, Arundhati Choudhary, Sachin Siwach, Ankush Panghal. 7 athletes, 7 gold medals. Out of the 16 total medals won on Day 10, 10 came from boxing alone. And this record 7 gold sweep is it's totally unprecedented. We saw Sakshi Choudhary outplay England's Ruby White by a unanimous verdict. Priya Ghanghas beat Canada's Marie Alamadier by a split verdict. Arundhati Choudhary completely outclassed Chantel Reed. It was just a relentless dominating performance across so many different weight classes.
Let's move to and see how this builds into an incredible story of pure resilience. You have got to hear about Ankush Panghal's final against England's Daimaji Shittu in the men's 80-kilogram category. So, Ankush actually loses the first round by unanimous 0-5 verdict. He takes a massive blow to the chin, which even forces the referee to administer a count. Now, for a lot of fighters, that's the end of the line, right? Game over. But in round 2, Ankush comes out, presses hard, lands these beautiful combinations, and takes a 3-2 split verdict. Then in the ultimate test of stamina and willpower in round 3, he clinches the gold with a 4-1 split verdict. Just an absolutely sensational comeback.
And then we have the nail-biting micro-narrative of Sachin Siwach in the men's 60-kilogram final against Namibia's try-again Morning Nadelo. Sachin actually lost his first round too. It gets worse. In the second round, he even receives a point deduction for failing to keep his head up. But, as all great fights do, it comes down to the wire in the final round. Sachin lands a sensational overhand cross that drops his opponent to the canvas, forcing a count. That single, decisive moment tipped the scales entirely, earning Sachin a 3-2 victory and another spectacular gold for India.
That brings us to Section 3, hard-fought ring silvers.
Because of course, combat sports are incredibly unforgiving, and the margins between gold and silver are razor thin. We really have to honor the valiant fighters who gave it absolutely everything but just missed the top step of the podium. Jadumani Singh, Lovlina Borgohain, and Narender Berwal all fought in these incredibly tough, grueling finals. Jadumani lost to Australia's Jade Dixon in the 55-kilogram final, but not without taking the first round in a super-tight split verdict. Lovlina faced the tremendously agile Emma Sue Greentree of Australia in the 75-kilogram category, and she fought back fiercely in the second round before ultimately taking silver. And Narender, he went up against the lightning-quick Damar Thomas from England in the 90-kilogram final. Together, these hard-fought silvers capped off the boxing contingent's historic run at an astonishing 10 medals.
All right, let's look at part 4, track and field triumphs.
So let's pivot now from the intense, enclosed atmosphere of the boxing ring and step out onto the dramatic, sprawling stage of the athletics field. Now, what's really interesting about this result is the sheer, undeniable dominance on display. In the men's F57 shot put, India didn't just win, they completely controlled the podium with a spectacular 1-2 finish. Suman Rana clinched the gold with a brilliant throw of 13.40 meters, while his compatriot Shubham Juyal was right there behind him, bagging the silver with a 13.28-meter effort. It's just a masterclass in specialized athletic supremacy.
But perhaps the most heart-stopping moment on the track came during the men's 5,000-meter race. I mean, look at that number, 4 milliseconds. That is literally faster than the blink of an eye. That was the microscopic gap at the finish line separating India's Gulveer Singh and Kenya's Cornelius Kemboi. After the 4,000-meter mark, Gulveer powered all the way up from 4th to 2nd and then fought with every ounce of energy he had to narrowly cling to 3rd place, claiming the bronze medal in an absolutely breathtaking finish.
And that breathtaking finish wasn't just exciting for the crowd, it was deeply historically significant. By securing that 5,000-meter bronze, Gulveer Singh cemented his legacy, becoming the first Indian ever to win 2 track and field medals in a single edition of the Commonwealth Games. Remember, he had already secured a stunning silver in the grueling 10,000-meter race earlier on. Just a phenomenal athlete.
Up next is Section 5, Bronze on the Mat.
While the runners were tearing up the track, the judokas were battling it out on the mats. Let's look at a crucial victory that really padded out this massive Day 10 haul. In judo, an ippon is essentially the holy grail. It is the highest score a fighter can achieve, and it results in an immediate, definitive win. It just ends the match right then and there. And that is exactly how India's Unnati Sharma executed her match against South Africa's Sky Noster. After a really tough semifinal loss, Unnati bounced back with total focus, delivering a stunning ippon to snatch the women's -63 kg bronze medal. It was a perfect showcase of tactical skill and incredible mental recovery.
And finally, Section 6, surging to 4th place.
So, what does this all mean when we zoom out? Let's take a look at the global perspective and how Day 10 totally redefined India's standing in Glasgow. So, the crucial point is that this 16-medal run on Day 10 propelled India to a total of 39 medals, solidly anchoring them in 4th place overall. Right now, they're trailing only the massive historical heavyweights of the Commonwealth Games, Australia at 137 and England at 87. To put India securely in the upper echelon of this leaderboard is a massive testament to the depth and evolution of the nation's sporting programs, especially when you look at combat sports and athletics.
Which leaves us with this final thought. We've just walked through a truly historic Day 10. We saw record-breaking 7 golds in boxing, microsecond finishes on the track, and just an unyielding competitive spirit across the board. So, with 39 medals and athletes who flat-out refuse to back down even when the referee is counting them out, what does this unprecedented dominance signal for India's future on the global sporting stage? The balance of power is shifting, and the athletes we saw today, they're the ones leading the charge. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep analyzing, keep learning, and I will catch you next time.